What up, brunette? Oh wait, I've got an echo. Oh, you know why? Oh, maybe it's not here. Anyway, brunette, can you hear me good? Is everything okay? Yep, that's Tim and Tick. Yeah, Tim and Tick are here too. Why do I have? Oh no. Who else has this on in the house? The show. Okay. Okay, you hear me? Do you hear an echo? Because I hear an echo. Maybe if I take that off and check this. No. Okay, can you turn it down, honey? Okay. Yeah, again. All right. I don't know why, but I hear an echo. I think it's from Jason's side because he's got me. I've got him in the background waiting. So anyway, hello everybody. Long time no see. Um, I've kind of got a lot to smash through tonight. I really do. I've got a lot of updates, a lot of good things. I mean, just I don't even know how to put into words. I really don't even know how to put into words. Um, I do want to say I can't say sorry that I haven't been on here. I've been telling you guys if you go back to my first videos on YouTube, I never intended on YouTube being my ministry, the main vein for my ministry ever. It was never the intention, and it hasn't been, and it never will be. I have no intention of getting paid from YouTube. I get nothing for this. My ministry is in person. I like in person. I like personal interaction with people. I mean, even if it's just online, I still prefer to talk to somebody one on one. And it's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way. For the people that watch this channel, I got a couple of things I want to go over with you quick. One, YouTube has shadow banned the shit out of me. And they always have. I mean, it's always been that way, but it's bad. It's to the point now where if I put 1 John 3:8, just the verse, on any live stream or any YouTube video, they just bury my comment, right? They can't outright delete it, so they don't, but they shadow ban you. And so on all my comment section, right, on every video that I've done, all my comment sections, and from here moving forward, if you want to see the comments on the videos, you have to click the little spot where it says up at the top, uh, it'll say newest first or all comments or whatever. You have to click newest first to be able to actually see the comments on the channel. And that's any video that I've been on, even on the debate that I did with Dipshit the other day. I'm there. In order to see my comments on that video, you have to click newest first for most of them. It is, or to see somebody's replies to me, they don't show the replies. YouTube is I don't know what the fuck they got going on, but at the end of the day, in order to see the verses, in order to see the conversations, you have to click up at the top where it says comments, and then you click the newest first, and then that will show. It is very imperative that I tell you that, as after this video, I'm not going to put it in my comment section anymore, which I've been doing up at the top. I always pin it and say, hey, click this and put newest first. I'm just, if you're going to be here, if you're going to watch the videos, if you're going to be a part of this, then you need to know that. And I'm shadow banned to the fucking, to the seventh realm if they could. They just don't. YouTube doesn't, I mean, I've never had a strike. I have no problems with them, but they don't like this channel. And I know they do it to a lot of other channels too, but it's gotten to the point where they're just outright hiding the Bible verses. They won't let me talk. They won't let me say anything. Free speech on YouTube is dead. But we're still here. I haven't been live for the last couple of weeks. My brother visited a couple of weeks ago. He just showed up randomly in Illinois and gave me a call and was like, hey, I'm coming. And I went out. I took our whole family, me, him, my nephew, all my kids, wife, everybody. We all went out. We went to the trampoline park, and that night I got sick. It was the day before. It was the day before my debate with Nick. I think it was the day before my debate with Nick. I got, whatever, and it's been. I've never been that sick in my life ever, but it was influenza B followed with bronchitis, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I have not been able to go live. You can hear it in my voice now that I'm just now starting to get my voice back. I feel fine. It's great. Everything's working out in perfect timing for Texas and everything, but that's why I haven't been live. And it's not for lack of want, but I've also been dealing with a lot of other stuff. And we're going to get into a whole lot of that tonight. I've got Jason's up here. Jason's going to be here tonight. Yeah, YouTube is horrible with free speech. It's just horrible. So, but it's beyond that. They're just shadow banning my comments, and it's been like this for a long time. But I still try, like, because sometimes, like 2 out of every 25 will slip through the cracks, and and then I can get into dialogues with people. But when I get into the dialogue with people, they hide those comments, and then you got to go and you got to click newest comments first, and then you got to click it again twice, and it's just a pain in the ass. They're making it very hard. They're just and there's nothing we can actually do about it. So and I'm not going to switch. I'm not going to waste my time going to Rumble or anything like that. I'm just an in-person person anyway. So that's what it is. If you want to talk to me, hit me up in the comments, man. It just is what it is. I've got all the time in the world for everybody if you want it. But this channel has all the answers on it already. All the answers you want, it's already on here. Everything, the whole Bible is really already on here. I wanted to get Second Chronicles done before Texas, but because of the losing my voice thing, you guys don't understand. When I did that debate with Nick, whatever, a week ago, I had 103 fever through that whole thing. Like, I was sick as fuck. I've never been that sick in my life, and I'm kind of a naturalist, so I don't really like, I don't go to the hospital unless it's fucking life or death. Like, I just don't. I believe in the body's ability to recover itself, and it has. I'm amazed. I honestly, there was a night where I thought I was gonna die, and my wife was like, "You want to go to the hospital?" I'm like, "No, I think I'll be all right." And I did it. I got my whole family sick. They're all coming at the tail end of it right now. It was brutal, but everything worked out. Everything works out. But yeah, so that's why I haven't been live. And I got a lot of crazy things going on in my life. I've worked very hard. My last 4 years, you guys all know, has been ministry, right? I have put my blood, sweat, tears, and every extra fucking dollar my family's had, to the point where, I mean, we've just been broke doing this. Every extra ounce of everything I have has gone into the ministry, right? Proving the ministry, being an example to the people that I teach this to. And that's all I focused on. So years ago, when me and my wife did the switch, I'm going to bring Jason up now anyway. He can be up here for this. Okay, Jason, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. I am.
So years ago, when me and my wife switched, when she decided she wanted to go back to work and I was going to be the stay-at-home, because when I first met her, really, I made her a stay-at-home mom. I told her, look, I did, in my life, I did find like the infinite money hack in life, and I was very good at what I do, and I make a small fortune when I do it. But most of my life I was pretty irresponsible, and I did a lot of stupid shit, and I really burned a lot of bridges. But there were bridges that I built that are really solid, like really solid. And so, years ago, me and my wife switched, and I told her she could be the stay-at-home and I would go to work. And after like a year of that, year and a half of that almost, she decided she didn't want to be at home anymore. And she wasn't very good at it either. I'm not going to lie. And she knows that. She was not good at all at being a stay-at-home mom. And I really, wanted to be able to teach my kids structure and responsibility and these things in life that a child needs to be taught. And so she wanted to go back to work and wanted me at home. And so we made the switch. We made
Jason.
We made the switch, and she went back to work, and I've been a stay-at-home dad ever since. And in that time, when I first started the ministry, right, it's all been ministry for me for the last 4 years. But when I started this, I had a goal in mind. I've always had the same goal in mind, that, I had to take care of all my criminal shit, pay off all my fines, get everything done, get my driver's license back, overcome every odd that there was to overcome stacked against me, everything. the worst of the worst shit you can imagine stacked against you. That's what I've dealt. And I overcame all of it, every bit of it. And to the point now, I don't even like, I don't need to go to work if I don't want to. But everything's come back around, and I was working for this goal, and I forgot all about the goal because I put everything in the ministry, but it's being forced back into my lap now, and I'm very, very excited about things. So my next 60 days, I'm going to be transitioning back into my career as well. I mean, the minute I put it in the sealed yesterday, Jason, you were there. The minute that I called my references, right? You know, you always call to make sure your references got you. And I went to call my references. I had 2 job offers in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The minute I said, "Hey, I need your phone number for a reference," it was, "Yo, can you make it to this? Can you make it to this dealership at this time?" You know, and it was so fast. But I declined both of those because I'm not begging for a job this time. I'm in a position to negotiate, and I'm very, very excited about it. But this is all going to be happening over the next 45 to 60 days. And so expect to see me less on YouTube. But know that the ministry is fucking going strong. I think it's going stronger than ever. Tonight, what me and Jason are doing, this is what I would consider a power move. I'm going to be going to Houston. I don't want to tell anybody when, but that is coming too. I don't know that I'm going to go live while I'm in Houston. I think so, probably from Jason's house, I would imagine. But maybe, I don't know if we're going to do the public thing live, but I will definitely post clips and shit and things that we do, which is why Jason's up here tonight. We're going to talk about that. And I just want to update you guys, let you know life is perfect. I can't put it into words. It's perfect, and everything is happening for a reason. And every prayer that I've ever prayed is being answered, and it's just amazing. So, with that being said, Jason, what up? Sorry.
Hey there. What's up?
Catching everybody up on it, and it just is what it is. Every answer's on here. In the description, there's a Bible study called Never Sin Again. Salvation Assurance, Never Sin Again. Do that study. There's 3 playlists on this channel: New Testament, Old Testament, and Prophets. Do the read alongs.
I watched that again.
Which one? The Never Sin Again?
Yeah, I watched that again, and it doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
I mean, you squared it away 3 years ago or whenever you did it.
Yeah, perfectly. Like I can't even best it now. I've tried to redo it and make a new and improved.
You might be able to improve on the video quality.
Yeah, but when I did it back then, when I made that video, I remember talking to everybody about it, and I was like, this is what it's going to be. I wanted it to be shitty video quality. I wanted it to be something kind of boring, because this isn't instant gratification, man. That's what the devil gets everybody on. They get that instant gratification. They go to the heathen building. Heathen pastor says, "Just say a prayer and you're fine." And then you think that's good. It's instant. Fuck that. No. If you want the truth, you're gonna have to put in the effort. You're gonna have to put in the time. You're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to prove you fucking believe. That's what being a believer is. That's what these people, Paul and those guys, man, they came near to death doing this. They fucking gave up everything for this, and that's what being a believer is. So that's what this channel's about. The Never Sin Again studies in the description, and that's my intro. Everybody, this is Jason. This is the lawyer. This guy. Can I tell your story? Do you mind?
You can speak anything you want.
This is the reality of it, right? When I first met Jason, very hard-headed. He's still very hard-headed. Very hard-headed, but he listened and he read the Bible on his own, and he'd email me, 1 week, and then I'd hear from him like a week and a half later, and then we'd email back and forward, pages of emails, and then he told his wife about it, and she fucking left his ass. She filed for divorce, took the kids. He lost his house, lost fucking everything because of the gospel, and only because of the gospel. I hate how sinners, man, they try and grab at straws. They're just like, "Oh, but you did this and you did that." No, that's not what it's about. It's about the gospel, because it wasn't till you brought up the gospel that she filed. So it just tells you. And he's lost almost as much as I have for it, I would say. Like, you still get to see your kids and shit. I got 2 of those that I don't even get to see, and they're just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. All I know is that in the end, my kids are gonna feel dumb. They're gonna feel so stupid. Within the next 5 years, my kids are gonna feel dumb as fuck. So, and it should be that way. Like prove the faith, prove belief, and prove everyone wrong. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy thing to do. And Jason's doing it. And so with that, hey bud, are you excited?
So here I am.
Yep. So here you are. Are you excited?
Every day.
No, I mean for Texas.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a bit of a shock. So we're going to be out there, and I haven't done that. Like, we're going to be out there.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it. Yes.
And
very much so. Very much so. With very offensive t-shirts. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to show
and no filter. Yeah. No, and no bullhorn either. Those fucking people with the bullhorns, anytime you see those guys, those are all bullshit. They're all bullshit. That bullhorn is to scare people away. It's not to help them. It's fucked up. And that's what Jesus talked about in the Bible when he said, be not as the hypocrites are that sound a trumpet before them. That's what the fucking bullhorn is. It's a fucking, look at me. I'm self-righteous and you're not. It's bullshit. So this is going to be good.
I heard someone using a bullhorn on the corner of a street maybe like a year ago. And at that time, I thought that was neat. I'm like, hey, they're getting up there, but that was before the truth.
Now, I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about that now? How do you feel about the fact that you thought that was how it was done? How do you feel about that? I got something I want to show you
now.
Yeah, about feeling that way when you first saw it and you're like, oh, that's how it's done. How do you feel about that right now?
Well, I don't know about how that's how it's done. At the time, I thought it was, I've always been vocal and strong towards faith, and I would think of that as a good thing back then. But now it's the opposite. It's just being loud.
Now you know it's just truth. It's annoying and it's bullshit. Check it out. He said, what fruit had you in those things whereof you are now ashamed? And so you see the night and day difference, man, from doing it the right way and how you look on the street and you see the hypocrites and you see how they do it and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? So I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. And the cool thing about it doing it this way is they come to us. We don't have to sit there with a bullhorn. They're just going to come to us. This is going to be good, man. This is going to be fucking awesome. And you're right. You have no idea what you signed up for. You have no idea what you signed up for. I don't know if Baldhead is still in the chat.
I've basically described this to everyone in my life. Obviously, even my ex-wife now. I've explained this to everyone in my life. And there's only a few. There's a few people that have kind of like, okay, I'm going to listen to you. But most, if not everyone else, just says, Now, what we're talking about is these are people I've never met before. These are complete.
Yes. Okay. So Baldhead is still in the chat. This is the day I found out he was bullshit too, because he couldn't do it. He couldn't even sit at the table. Like this dude, we were out. I on everything, Jason. We were out for like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I took him out in public. And within 15 minutes, the lady next to us. So it was like this huge. You ever know? You know how like a small town will put on like a town where all the businesses gather and they got booths downtown and shit. Like not a carnival, but like a milk days kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I can imagine it. I know what you're saying. I don't know what the words are, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the word is either. But it was just all these different people and they all had booths set up and it was one big town party basically. And we just went out and we just fucking set up the table. And within 15 minutes, the lady next to us, she came over and she's like, oh, you guys are doing Bible studies. How's that going? And she sat down and so the first verse, Jason, this bitch lost her mind, started screaming at me, stood up, packed up all her shit, loaded it into the car and left. And then Joey went off to the bar somewhere, Baldhead. He went off to the bar somewhere. Look he even told you. He said, nope, it was too intense for me. He went off to the bar And in the bar, somebody was like, "Oh, you're with that fucking preacher guy?" He came back. He took his shirt off in the street. He's like, "I can't do this. He said, put that shit back on. Stop being a little bitch." And well, I mean, obviously we know how that ended, but at the end of the day, now he'll tell you, yeah, this is gonna be fun. And in Houston, ooh, it was good shit, man. It was good shit. That day was good shit. But it's, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It is completely different. But it's not, you know, we're not the people with the bullhorn, and people see that difference too. Like you'd be surprised, like the difference. Like, even when I go in the hood where I live, right, and I'm talking to like, you know, people you wouldn't really want to walk down the street where I live, but when I'm talking to people, it's a different ball game because we're not out there with the bullhorn. We're not judging people. We just put up a little sign that says Bible study, and they come to us. You're gonna enjoy it, man. I think it's gonna be good. And then I've got a couple other things up my sleeve too. We're gonna have some fun. But yeah, I am excited. I'm not telling anybody when I'm going to Houston. You'll know the day I do. I'll post a picture of the sky from the airplane on YouTube that day, and then you can know what's coming. But now for the most part, I mean, it has been a long road, dude. How long you been rolling us with us now? For like 8 months, 9 months?
So I think it's roughly around there. I
Yeah.
mean, I really was digging in like about a year ago, like between there was one other, I don't know, person on YouTube that talked about you stop sinning, but it was through the actions or through the flesh. And you were the voice, basically the voice that was saying, no, it's none of that. It was
None of it.
reconciled. And so getting in contact with you, it was almost maybe 11 months ago, maybe 10 months ago.
Damn. Yeah, no, it has been a little while. And you've seen your own fair share of shit. Yeah, I'm gonna come down there though, and this is gonna be the refiner's fire, man. And at the end of it, my hope is that when I come back home, because I didn't think I needed to be down there that long. I know I probably could have stayed like a week, but there's no, once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. So my hope is that when I come back home, you do it on your own. And that's it. I mean, I do it on my own. There's no reason why, but you shouldn't. And I'm hoping that this is where it's at. You're gonna love it. So I want to read Psalms 37. In the mood that I'm in. Oh, dude, Jason, I really wish. I can't even put it. Like, I can't explain it to people. I can't even put it into the words like how fast shit's about to go. It's just, I worked so hard for all of it. And I mean, the saying is true. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and he will add these things to you. He will add them. You don't have to do shit. He will add them. And that's I'm just excited, man. Houston's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be, that's a big deal. Fucking going to the White House was a big deal, but this shit, I can't even put it into words. So I want to read Psalm 37. You go with that? You're not reading it. I'm reading
great.
it. Yeah, you're going to read Romans.
Read it too,
yeah, you're going to read in Romans. All right, Psalm 37. A psalm of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. This verse, I love it. This one, I got to remind myself sometimes because I look at the people who have squashed me my whole life, and their lives are always, they're always doing so good. They've always got all the so-called friends, and they've got the money, and they've got everything. But then the 4 years I've been doing this, I've watched one by one, they all fall down. They all fall down and they can't get back up. And it's a very true verse. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. There's no sense in it. Ain't no sense in none of it. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. And this is true on a number of different levels. Like, trust in the Lord and do good. Good. It means everything good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Do you see this part, Jason? Right there. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what land he's talking about?
Oh,
Yeah, the one the believers are getting ready to inherit.
yeah.
Oh man,
was
and
where
that
my
shit
mind
too,
was.
dude. Oh my god, that shit too. Everything I've said for the last 3 years is happening now. Holy shit, Jason. It's all happening. Oh, I don't even know how to put it into words. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Oh yeah, man, this was
I don't know how many times I realized that this is all I have. Like everything else just broke and doesn't matter, and this
yes,
is all I have.
yeah, and everything that you think you have physically. What was it? It was how that was like a week ago, I think, and I've said it to 2 people now in the last week that everything you think you have isn't even yours to begin with anyway. Right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth. Everybody watching this, man, your family, your friends, all your whatever you think you have, none of it belongs to you. Your kids don't even belong to you. Nothing belongs to you. Nothing. Zero. God can take it away now if he wants to. It's just a look what he did to Job. And for no reason. You know, that's for no fucking reason. Just because he could. And Job took it like a
Yeah,
man. And he
that was
didn't break
amazing.
either. Yeah, I love that. Dude, I love the book
Yeah,
of Job. Those 3 people tried to accuse him of sin. And Job was just like, go fuck
yeah.
yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. He's like, I can't sin. I'm fucking righteous. And I will question God. And he, you know, in the end, you learn the humility of Job without having to be Job. But it's still like it's just a beautiful story. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. This is a very true statement. My whole premise for coming live tonight is to let you guys know, like that's what's happening in my life on every fucking level. I'm getting my career back. I'm getting everything back that I ever lost times 10. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. But you know, there's that what I was trying to explain to you yesterday is it's weird for me because, you know, before I became a believer, like right when I read 1 John 3:6 the first time and I realized I wasn't saved, that moment, you know, was the pivot moment for my life. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I thought I was saved and then I found out I wasn't. And I was like, okay, well, the Bible has to come first. And then I put away the goals of my life, right? I put away the chasing the suit and tie and chasing the dollar, and I put all that away and put the Bible first and put the ministry first. And I forgot about all those goals. I mean, I didn't really forget about them, but I knew that I was working towards it eventually, but I didn't expect it to be now. And you know, I put it off. Me and my wife were just talking about it like a month and a half ago. And me, all the kids, I sit everybody down. You know, I do. I sit everybody down and we all talk about everything. We all vote on everything. And, you know, we did it like a month and a half ago. And I sat everybody down and said, look, you know, the ministry is more important. I want to do the ministry. I want to put off going back to work till next year. And my wife was cool with it. She's like, yeah, that's because she knows that me going back to work it could make it hard with the car situation, but it was just easier, you know. So we all voted 1 more year. And nope. He will give you the desires of your heart, and he'll give it to you when he wants to. You don't get a choice in the matter. Commit thy way unto the Lord. There it is. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And that's true. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgments is the noonday. Yep. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently on him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. This one's hard. Sometimes. And I know you know that feeling, right? When you're getting hammered with court papers because of the gospel and there ain't shit you can do about it. Just don't even worry about it. Don't ever stress. There's no need for stress. Cease from anger.
There's so many of those. I mean, back up a little. There's so many of those wicked devices. I mean, they're just endless almost.
Emotions, man. Emotions, money, things of the world, just, you just don't. Pride. Fucking
anything,
pride.
yeah, anything but the truth, anything but anything but this, and it's about everything else, and it's not. But that's what. Anyway,
This idiot in the comments. It's not okay to unalive babies. Wake up. Well, if it's not okay, then why did he make it? Why did he create the ability to do so then? And he said, and you know what? Here, this proves that person wrong. Right here. It's not okay to unalive babies. So you're calling God a sinner. I want to show you this. Right here. You're calling God a sinner. And I know exactly who this person is. I already figured that out. But they're calling God a sinner. Right? They're saying it's not okay to unalive babies.
I'm not even following what he's saying.
Abortion? He doesn't think abortion's okay.
Oh, unalive babies. Okay.
Right. He must not know the creator. It is. It's the clever way to make sure that, whatever. It just is what it is. Hang on. Now I'm going to show you something.
So, okay. So to him, that's the sin, or that is the list.
To him, that's sin, right? Unaliving a baby is sin for this person. Read me verse 23 real quick.
He thinks that that's what we do because we don't.
He thinks that we're okay with it because we preach that all things are reconciled. All things are reconciled, not all things are expedient. All things are lawful, not all things are expedient. I don't recommend abortion for anybody, but some people got to take that route. But if you're going to say that that's not okay, well, then you're going to have to call God a sinner. Jason, read me that verse that's on the screen.
And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins. Is it and hearts? That box, that text.
Search of the reins and hearts. Oh, sorry.
And I will give unto every one of you according to your works.
Exactly. So God said, I will kill her children with death. God is definitely in the business of unaliving children.
Too. Anyway.
Yeah, it happens twice. God is definitely in the business of unaliving children, and you want to sit here and complain about it and cry like some self-righteous fucking Pharisee. No. And to any women that ever watch this that have had an abortion, just know that Jesus is above that shit. Jesus created that shit. When you needed it in that moment, it was there. You may regret it, but don't. He created it. He reconciled it for you. Believe that. Instead of beating yourself up, rejoice in that he reconciled it for you. Believe that. And the people that sit there and complain about it, those are the ones he's going to unalive their kids. Fucking brutal verse, man. And I will kill her children with death. I love it when people bitch about abortion and then try and say that, well, it's not very Christian. No, that is very Christian. It's very much so what God would fucking do. Absolutely. He created it to begin with. It just is what it is. Stop judging people like hypocrites. The fucking hypocrites, Jason. All right, so anyway, back to Psalms. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. This right here. Fuck the rich, man. They're all going to tumble down so beautifully. Every fucking stone, every heathen building you see will be brought to rubble. Absolutely nothing. Be dust thrown into the fire. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Real believers. Jason, can you sin?
Mm-mm.
Do you even remember the last time you sinned?
Mm-mm.
No. It's nice, right?
I think it was before I believed. I mean, it really was just like so it's weird because I thought for years I couldn't sin, but it was somehow through how I acted under the law.
Like you were under the law. You were under the law. You did the sin, repent,
repeat. It was weird
shit.
because it was weird because I kind of combined, I don't know how I did it, but I just kind of in my mind, I've read verses where I can't sin, and I use the law like as a guide or something. I don't know.
Self-righteousness, like, Jason. Just own it. Just own it. You're self-righteous as fuck.
I took the Sabbath rest day to an extreme. like Saturday, like not even
they all do.
Sunday to
No, they all do.
Saturday. And I
They
did
all
shit
do.
like,
That's why Seventh-day
I mean,
Adventism is so popular,
yeah.
because people get super
Anyway.
self-righteous. That's what I went to right before I got kicked out of the heathen building. I started looking into that Seventh-day shit. And then I met 1 John 3:6. Once I met that verse, it was over. It was fucking over. I was like, oh shit. I was like, how does this work? And then I went to the fucking heathen pastor, and he's like, well, what about James 5:20? What does that mean? And then it just started there. 1 John 3:6 is what did it, man. Once you know, you know. And it's clear as day. Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. None of us are wrong. Shaquafina. Appreciate the comical name, though, at least. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. All these fucking sinners, man, they're all going to get wiped up. They're all going to get mopped. And they're going to get punished the whole way through. The whole way through. They're going to do nothing but smash heads. Well, I mean, it just is what it is. And we do have a perfect example. Nick, Signs and Wonders. He's the perfect example. He's getting smashed every time. And he just doesn't listen. He just can't. He just doesn't fucking get it. Dude's running around missing a finger now. He just doesn't get it. Like, you dumb fuck. It's right in front of your face. But it is what it is, you know, and it's cool. I am bringing him up on purpose, and I do have a reason, and it's going to come up later. But it's, you know, I'm done with the dude. He said he's done with me. So that's it. I'm not going on the show anymore. He ain't coming up here.
Just keep it all separate.
Oh, by the way, Trenton, I told you I was going to put you on the spot a little bit. Trenton, do you want him back on your page? Yes or no?
I don't.
Me neither. Okay, good. Good. I just want to make sure we are on the same page there. And
I actually don't. When someone makes their choice and makes it clear, I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you on that one. The whole reality behind that.
And the other thing that I hate about it is other people. So like on my Facebook page, like I'm hearing this from my dad, and this would be like maybe months ago. But they'll like listen to Trenton, and then that'll kind of like become their religion, like kind of how he reasons things out.
That's what he's there for. He's there to divide.
You'll see my mom. She'll like put the likes and the hearts and all. I don't know about the hearts, but she'll put the likes on Trent's comments.
I don't think she actually reads it though. I really don't think she actually reads it. I mean, if she read the entire conversation, both sides of it, there's no way. There's no way she knows he's getting crushed. But at the end of the day, no, I don't want to bag. I didn't think you did either.
So I don't want him. Yeah, I don't want to make him. I mean, he can.
Well, he claimed
I could block him too, but yeah.
He claimed that he would respect your wishes, so I'm trusting that he will. I mean, he's got to learn to control his own tongue. You know, you can't claim to be a man of God and then you can't even fucking go away when you say you're going to go away. That doesn't make any sense.
And I try to speak to him privately too, like through direct message, because he would just show up on the public part. I'm like, hey, if you want to disagree or talk about this stuff, let's. But he didn't respond. He didn't answer. He didn't care.
He can't. I don't think he. But on the flip side of that, I do have who he really is. I do have his actual address. I do have where he runs his little heathen building. I have all that shit now. So if he does continue to fuck off, he's not going to be a happy person when I'm done. So, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not playing that game. I'm not going to out him on here. I'm just going to say I'm done with it. I'm sick. I'm fucking tired. Like, it's annoying. You know, how he's a wolf. That's it. He's a wolf with no friends, obviously, because he keeps trying to piggyback mine. So
he's a dedicated wolf.
Yeah, get the fuck, like, get a life, bro. Get a life. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth. There it is. We were just talking about this. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Oh yeah, that's right. So you were in the chat. What, 2 days ago now? It's been 2 days since I found that out about what someone's trying to do to me, and it's all blowing up. It's all going to blow up in that person's face so epically, so epically,
Wait,
Jason.
wait. Keep giving me clues so I know what you're talking about.
I have a lawyer for a reason.
Okay.
Dude, when he told me, I called him. I'm like, yo, this is fucked up. Like, this is bullshit. Like, I can't win for losing, you know? And the counselor, right? Everything that I'm going through, I already know that at the end, I'm ending up with custody. That's what
that made me
this is
feel
all
good about lawyers, by the way. When I heard
No, dude, I know
that
how
just
much
kinda-
I know how much he's worth.
kind
and
of
I've got-
infused a little bit of the
shit. Let me tell you
loyalty
something.
to the client and willingness to fight.
Well, I question his loyalty some days, but
Yeah. There's a lot of yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, the law is the law, and I've abided by it and done everything I'm supposed to do. So, hang on, I want to look something up. I want to see if you know about this, because he is my attorney. Is one of the best in the country, and I didn't realize that. Like when I first, so basically, how I met this guy was, I used to be in criminal court, right, when I was a kid, all the time. And this motherfucker, he's only like 4'9", but he's the sharpest dressed motherfucker I've ever met in my life. And being a car salesman, for me, like when I see suits and ties, like I know name brand, like I know what goes into making yourself look like that. And I was just always impressed with how he carried himself and how he handled shit. And I told myself, look, Jason, almost 15 years ago, I said, that's going to be my lawyer for my children someday. And he is. Now he is. And it turns out he won one of the 10 best criminal law attorneys in Illinois. He's the National Trial Lawyers. Have you ever heard of this? He's a top 40, under 40 criminal defense. National Academy of Criminal Defense Attorneys, top 10 under 40 attorneys in Practice Magazine's top 10 criminal defense attorneys in Illinois. That's what it is. He won the America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. And like, I'm just happy, man. I'm so happy I met this guy. I'm so happy I met this dude. And so when that shit went down the other day, I called him and I was just like, yo, dude, it's like, what the fuck? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but every time I turn around, I've got somebody trying to have me locked up for bullshit. And he's like, oh no, you're not going to jail. Don't worry about it. He's like, what's the date? I'll be there. He's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. And so, and he knows what I'm doing. Like he knows I'm about to make the couple of moves that I'm about to make. And it's checkmate. It's fucking checkmate. It's over. Like it's fucking over. I busted my fucking ass for this dude. I can't even, oof. I just can't put it into words. I'm just excited. I really am excited. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him. That's it. All the sinners, all the fucking sinners, you guys got. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of an upright conversation. And this is the truth. That's the truth. Leslie tried to do that shit to you, man. She's still doing it to you.
Still something. This is awesome.
Their sword shall enter into their own heart.
Some of this stuff is just news
it's brutal
to me because I'm spending so much anyway. Yeah.
It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. Their sword shall enter into their own heart and their bows shall be broken. And in my life right now, sitting here doing this live stream, I'm watching this play out in real time. Like, I just can't. I don't even know. It's been a shit-eating grin. My last 3 days have been almost a straight party, dude. Just me and my kids jumping up and down because we all know what's coming. We all know what's coming. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. Boom. Boom. And this too, like all the fucking sinners, they think because they have money and all the shit that makes them of God and that makes them saved.
They have the approval of so many other people.
Right. And then they transfer that and think that it's the approval of God, but it's not.
Yeah. Because ugh.
To line up with the Bible, Sarah, it means to line up with the Bible. It means what comes out of your mouth matches what's in the scriptures. It means you know the book, you live by the book, you go by the book, You exercise the verses in your life. You are a doer, not a hearer, deceiving your own self. But be a doer of the word, not a hearer only, deceiving your own self. James 1:22. Being a doer. Like what you see me and Jason doing right now. It's just being a doer, preaching the gospel, believing in the words, running your mouth no matter the cost. And that's the big one. That's the big one. That's what has me so blindsided the last few days, man, is because I gave up on my own goals, kind of just put it all into the ministry, and everything's been ministry for years. And now all of a sudden, within it was a 24-hour window where my entire life, all my shit's now being added back to me. And I'm I don't know how to put it into words. You just be a doer. You got to line up with the book. You got to listen to the verses. If you don't go by the verses and you don't believe in them, that's what it means. You go by the verses. I think we're gonna end up having to get rid of Shaqwafina. I don't appreciate you disrespecting people in my comments. I really don't. Time them out. Time out, Shaqwafina. Let's start with a minute. Don't disrespect fucking people in my comments, man.
What verse does Sarah have a problem with?
Well, she just asked, what does it mean to line up with the Bible?
Oh, okay.
It means to line up with the Bible.
If I have my glasses on, I can read these comments and see the verses. But if my glasses are off, I'm just kind of like listening and talking.
Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20 is pretty clear. It says, if they speak not according to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there's no light in them. If what comes out of your mouth doesn't match the book, if what you do doesn't match your confession of faith, so-called faith, if you don't line up with the Bible, then you're not of it. It's that simple. Very, 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 very simple. Thank you, Brunette. So, I mean, it's very real. It's all, dude, and Texas is just step one. I'm excited, man. Like, last time I did the travel shit, I did it with somebody that kind of sabotaged me every step of the way in their own way. This time, I don't think I'm going to have that problem, and I'm very excited about it. I think Texas is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a really big deal in the long run. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The difference between the wicked and the righteous is sin. Real believers can't sin. Real believers line up with the book. Real believers trust the book. Real believers go by the book. Sinners sin. Unbelievers, some of them even say they don't sin, but they don't line up with the Bible. They turn their back on the verses. I showed you, what was it? I posted a seal right before this about the fake believers, the two different kinds. The ones that don't line up with the book, and the ones that know the truth but refuse to get their sword bloody. Is it Jeremiah? It is probably, I don't know, man. Hebrews 1:3 is like my favorite verse, but this one's up there. Right here. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Right there, boom. The people who do the work of the Lord deceitfully, the ones who say they believe, but they don't really line up with the Bible. Or they say they believe, but when they go to show somebody, they won't show them the hard shit. They won't hold them to it because they're afraid to hurt someone's feelings. You cannot have respect of people and be a believer in Jesus at the same time. You can't. Jesus did not respect anybody for any reason. That man shit all over the Pharisees all day, every day. They followed him around from town to town, complaining because he made them look bad, because they serve sin. And that's another thing I want to add to this too. While we're doing this tonight.
And they thought, how dare he say that?
They did too.
Because they did.
Yeah. So look, let's take an objective look at this, right? Let's kind of sidestep it. Let's go to John chapter 8, because this is like It's on the back of my hat. I've got John 8:34 embroidered in my hat, both of them. John 8:34. This is where, right? So, we can do this. That's fine. Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came up into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. So Jesus was just preaching the gospel. And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. So let's look at this. Jason, when you envision scribes and Pharisees, what do you envision?
As in today, people like today, or just scribes and Pharisees? I don't know. People that go by all the laws. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Right. Okay. So church people, right?
The present. Yeah. In the present. Yeah.
In the present time. I mean, and that's what it was back then. But the difference between a Pharisee and the church people you see today is a Pharisee is actually the bloodline of Abraham. So these are the dudes that actually had the bloodline of Abraham. They actually served in the temple, the real temple. They were actually the Levitical priesthood. These guys were the guys. They were the ones. Like when you go to the temple, you're giving your money to them, not the shit you see today. All these different heathen buildings.
Today the temple is the church buildings and all that stuff.
Allegedly, there's a temple made with hands and a temple made without. So but the Pharisees back then, if you compare them to the church people today, here, when I get into it with a pastor, somebody who claims to be a pastor, who was the last one I went at it with? I've gone at it with a lot of them. But when I get into it with a modern day so-called pastor, somebody who wears the 3-piece suit and they preach at the heathen building on a Sunday, when I get into an argument with one of them today, right, they think they're better than the Pharisees were apparently. But the Pharisees were the actual bloodline. The Pharisees served in the actual temple. The Pharisees actually did keep, they thought they were keeping the law, and they did. They wore the proper garb, and they did the proper services, and they had the brassen altar, and they had the tools that were used in the temple. They had the showbread. They had what it was supposed to be. These were the fucking dudes. And Jesus told them they weren't saved, right? So if the fucking Pharisees weren't saved, I don't understand what makes any of these retards think that they're better than the Pharisees. Because if I was going to choose to follow the flesh, if I was going to choose to listen to the flesh, I would rather listen to a direct descendant of Abraham of the tribe of Levi who serves in the temple. I would rather listen to that than a fucking, who do we want to use? I would rather listen to that than a Robert Breaker or a John MacArthur. John MacArthur. That's you know who that is?
So that's some of those names. So for such a long time, I tried to look for that, like in any person, because I always got caught up on you can't sin. Like I believed in that, I just didn't know how it all kind of worked, and that wasn't until last year and being able to see everything you've been able to bring together too. But I would look for that, and I would think of some of these books that I would read. It would always show up somewhere though, like, well, there's still sin, or you're still going to be imperfect. Like somewhere in the huge production, the huge show, it's always there. It's not really put front and center. It's not really given any attention whatsoever.
It's not letting me chat. I can't even type into the comments. Okay, so long story short, John chapter 8, Jesus is dealing with the Pharisees. And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, hang on, let me pull this up. They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. So she got caught in the act of getting railed by another dude that was not her husband.
Maybe she was railing. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, whatever it was, obviously it was a mutual, they were both consenting adults. Obviously.
With the legal issue, correct.
Right. They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law. Now this is the Pharisees, right? They're coming to Jesus, just like Just like the modern Pharisees try and judge us, right? So if I say the word fuck, you get people all over the place that'll be like, oh, you said that you said a bad word, right? It's the same thing. Now the Pharisees go to Jesus. They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
Yeah.
This they said, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down, and with his finger he wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. That is the most disrespectful fucking thing you can do to somebody. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you were talking to me and I just pretended like I wasn't even listening, isn't that not like one of the most disrespectful
you
things?
Started to draw randomness in the ground.
No, I think he bent down and drew a line on the ground. That's what I really think he did. I think he drew a line and just ignored him. Sarah, a real believer cannot dishonor themselves. If they do, they're just not a real believer. This they said, tempting him that they might have to access him, or they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down, and with his finger he wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her. So Jesus' answer to them was basically to say, who sins? Do you sin? Do you sin? Do you sin? But he did it all as a group. He said, he was without sin, let him cast the first stone. And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, right here, this is a big one, being convicted by their own conscience. So did he accuse them, or did they accuse them? Did they accuse themselves?
They figured it out on their own.
They accused themselves. Jesus didn't call them sinners. He just said, which of you serve sin? Which of you still sins? And these are the Pharisees. These are the Levites, man. These are the people that should have been the ones that were the example of what a believer should be. But they were convicted by their own conscience and went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. This is a big one. Did Jesus condemn her? No. Did he call her a sinner? No. Did he protect her? Yes. He stood up for her. She got caught in the act of cheating on her husband that day. And he knew damn well she was going to have to go home and deal with that. And he didn't judge her. He just said, go and don't sin anymore. Basically saying, stay the fuck away from these Pharisee fucks because they're only going to accuse you. But at the end of the day, he said, Neither do I condemn thee, go and sin no more. So if Jesus didn't judge the woman caught in adultery, where does anybody get the right to think that they can judge somebody for saying the word shit, or for saying the word fuck, or for having an abortion, or for killing somebody? Who cares? If Jesus didn't judge her, who the fuck is everybody else to condemn somebody else? You can't. You can't at all. And this is where it gets deep, because this is Jesus again with the Pharisees, the real ones, the ones that, were supposed to be the example. Then spake Jesus again unto them, to the Pharisees, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. He's talking to the Pharisees, telling them, you don't have it. I do. Follow me and you'll have it. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, Thou bearest record of thyself. Thy record is not true. Right? And so isn't that what we hear from every unbeliever that fights against the gospel with us? That's the same thing we hear from them. They say, You're just a prideful, arrogant prick. You're not listening. You're only talking about yourself. No. It's the same thing.
I was thinking about it in terms of being accused of this being made up.
Yeah, like, that's what they do.
Real.
Yeah, that's what they do. Oh, who is it? Fucking Trenton, right? He's always the king of it. Yeah, this has never been taught in 2,000 years. Yes, it has. Just not to you. Yes, it has. Just not to you. And the fact that it's written is the proof that Paul taught it. The fact that it's written is the proof that John taught it. Because they wrote it, then taught it. Jesus answered and said unto them, Though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true. Hang on one second. Okay. Jesus answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, right, which we don't even do. Jesus answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true.
Mm-hmm.
For I know whence I came and whither I go, but you cannot tell whence I come and whither I go. This is Jesus to the Pharisees, to the Levites, saying, fuck you. You don't know shit about me. You don't know where I come from. You don't know where I'm going. You have no clue what's going on. You judge after the flesh. I judge how many men? None. Zero.
Wow. That was just word without my glasses. Okay, no man, good.
Zero. Jesus judges no man. Right? The only judgment we're allowed to pass is righteous judgment, and that's just making sure somebody lines up with the Bible, or if they don't. And if they don't, we get rid of them. I don't play that game. I know everybody in the group that I roll, we just don't play that game. I'm accountable to you guys. If I said something wrong, I know Jason would say something to me. I know Tim and Tick would say something to me. Tim and Tick, you still here? I know for damn sure Brunette would tear me a new asshole. If I fucked up, I've got all you guys to be accountable to. Jesus, on the same shit, you judge after the flesh, I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true. For I am not alone, but I and the Father that sent me. It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. There it is. I was waiting for it to rear its ugly head. It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. Testimony of two men is true. You've got two of us up here right now telling you, Jason, can you sin?
No.
I can't sin either. Testimony of two men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me bear witness.
I wouldn't want to prove that to any extreme.
Well, no, but
to make a point, but
it is that true. Now watch this. What's funny is only our counterparts, right? The people that don't believe the truth, the ones who say they sin. If we got two of them, and in there they say, well, they sin. Well, that's true. You do. Like they do sin. They sin. We can't. That's the difference between a believer and an unbeliever. And the unbelievers just refuse the testimony. They refuse it. So it is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. Then said they unto him, where is thy Father? Now remember, these are the Pharisees, the people that claim to believe in God, the people that claim to be, of the tribe of Levi, the direct descendants of Abraham. These are the dudes. These are the dudes 10 times more qualified to be saved by law than any human being walking this earth today, and even they weren't saved. So that's why I don't get like where these people think they're something, they're nothing. So I am one that beareth witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. Then said they unto him, where is thy Father? Jesus answered, you neither know me nor my Father. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also, which is true, right? You know that as well as I do. We can't sin, so we know him. And who else do we know? We know the Father. So these words spake Jesus in the treasury as he taught in the temple. So he did it on their own grounds. And no man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. Then said Jesus again unto them, I go my way, and you shall seek me, and shall die in your sins. Where I go, you cannot come. That's what Jesus told the Pharisees. If Jesus said that to the Pharisees, I don't understand where people like John MacArthur, Joel Osteen, fucking signs and sins and blunders, any of them. I don't understand what any of them.
That's a new one for me.
I just don't understand where any of them think they have any right to serve sin and be saved. It's never going to happen. If the Pharisees weren't saved and they still sinned,
I don't get their end goal anyway. Like just to always get like less and less sin, but it's always still there. Like I don't. They
can't wrap their mind around it. Then said Jesus unto them, I go my way, and you shall seek me, and shall die in your sins. Where I go, you cannot come. Then said the Jews, will he kill himself, because he saith, where I go, he cannot come? So in the mind of the Pharisees, they thought that they were God's chosen holy people. So they thought when Jesus said he was going to kill himself, that he was talking about going to hell. And they were this just self-righteous bullshit. And he saith unto them, you are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world. I am not of this world. That's what Jesus said to the Pharisees. He told them they were going to die in their sin. So we know from that statement alone that they still serve sin. They were still sinners. And he said that they were from beneath. They're from hell. And he wasn't. And if the Pharisees were from hell, then what would make the church people today? What are they from?
That's the same.
That's the same. They're from hell. They are children of the devil. That's it. They serve sin. That's it. Over and over and over, repeating the same cycle over and over and over, thinking they believe, thinking that they're saved, but at the end they're going to hell. I said, therefore, unto you that you shall die in your sins. For if you believe not that I am he, you shall die in your sins. True statement. Good night, Shirley. We love you. Then said they unto him, who art thou? And Jesus saith unto them, even the same that I said unto you from the beginning. I have many things, or even the same that I have said unto you from the beginning. I have many things to say and to judge of you, but he that sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I have heard of him. They understood not that he spake to them of the Father. Then said Jesus unto them, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I am he. And we know that happened because we're sitting here discussing it. And that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father had taught me, I speak these things. So he went by God's word. And we know that because as my Father had taught me, I speak these things. So he went by the words of God. He spoke the words of God, which came out of his mouth, and him being God in the flesh. You get the idea. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. And as he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, there it is. If you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed, because it's constant. Belief is a constant. It's not just say a prayer and you're done. It's not just fucking you found out the truth, now you never read your Bible. It's not belief. Belief is a constant. If you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him. Now this is the Pharisee still. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and we're never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou that you shall be made free? Jesus had already told them that you're going to die in your sin. They could not accept the fact that because they still sin, they weren't saved. They couldn't accept that. They thought because they were Abraham's seed, because they fucking were in the temple, they didn't drink, they didn't smoke, they didn't do this, they dressed this way, they did this, they did that. They thought that that's what being a man of God was about. They thought that that's what being a believer was. They thought it was being in the temple made with hands, dressing a certain way, trying to keep the law. And Jesus told them, go fuck yourself.
Every time you say this, I'm thinking about people going to the church buildings too.
It's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They answered him, we be an Abraham's seed. And the real shit is, the people nowadays, they can't even say they're Abraham's seed. They don't even have that leg to stand on. They're up there in a 3-piece suit, right? Passing around that plate every Sunday, claiming to be a man of God while they still serve sin, saying they're a Christian. They're not even Abraham's seed. They don't have shit. They don't have fucking nothing to stand on, and then they still serve sin. Jesus is going to say the same thing to them that he said to the Pharisees. Jesus answered them, verily, verily. Jesus answered who? The Pharisees. He was talking to the sons of Levi. To the sons of Levi, the legitimate, if flesh was what it was about, these would be the legitimate heirs. And Jesus looked them in the face and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committed sin is the servant of sin. So if Jesus said that to the Pharisees, is it no greater thing that I say it to a common man? If that's the bar for the Pharisees, then that's the bar for everybody. And if you sin, you're the servant of sin. That's it. There's no middle ground. There is no still sin and be saved. There is only perfection or fire. And that's it. I mean, it's just fucking brutal. Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin, and the servant abideth not in the house forever. He's telling you right there, you're not Like you're on earth now, right? Just like Psalms 37. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The people who won't believe, the people who won't swallow it, the people who want to keep saying they believe but they still sin over and over and over, they're going to hell. There is no, I mean, there's that's it. And the servant abideth not in the house forever. Their arms are gonna be broken. We will diligently seek them, and they will not be found. But the Son abideth forever. So you got to have him in you, right? That's what it is. Paul said, "It is not I that live, but Christ that lives in me." Right? Christ has to live in you. You got to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. But the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Free from what, Jason?
Sin.
Exactly. I know that you are Abraham's seed. This is beautiful. Because then he even acknowledges, I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word hath no place in you. And then we see that with the people, right? All the people that shit on us in the channel. Every time we get shit on in person, you lost your wife over it. I've lost everything over it. It's, his word just has no place in those people. I speak that which I've seen with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. And look how they cling to that. They cling to that. Right? Just like the sinners, they try and say, I believe in Jesus. No, you don't. No, you hear nothing of him. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus say unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham, which was to believe. But now you seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. They then said they unto him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even God. And look at that. That's what they do. That's what they say to us. We're Christians. We believe in Jesus. It's so fucked up. They just can't even imagine that because they sin, they're going to hell. They can't accept it. Their pride is so rock solid, stiff-necked motherfuckers. You do the deeds of your father. Then said they unto him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even God. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me. That's the truth too. And that's what I tell you, right? Oh, this is where that comes from. How many times have you heard me tell you, if somebody loves you, they'll listen?
I don't know, 20,000.
Yeah. If they love you, they'll listen.
That's an exaggeration, but I've heard that a few specifically post on Facebook.
Yes. If they love you, they'll hear you. If they won't hear you, they don't love you. Cut the bad fruit off of the tree. Get rid of them. Fuck them. Waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. It just really is what it is. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why? And then I think it's funny. He's like, why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. And I love that because we see that shit all the time too. You show him like on the debate with Dipshit. It was right in front of his face and he just couldn't even acknowledge that that's what it said. Did you watch that? The 1 John 3:9? And even in the ESV, it said, and he cannot keep on sinning.
Yeah. I didn't catch all of it because I was kind of back and forth with my kids going to bed, but yeah.
No, that's what it is. You show them the verses and then they just can't accept it. They can't hear it. The pride gets in the way. Man, it's just bad. So Jesus goes on to tell them.
Consider it. They don't even let the idea or the truth be considered.
Correct.
It's just it's a complete resistance to even entertaining the possibility.
Your mother is the perfect example of it. She is the perfect example of it. No, they don't let it even, it's not even a possibility. They can't. And it's weird because you see Jesus telling them to their face. He's saying it to their faces. You can't even hear my words if I even try to talk to you. It doesn't fucking matter. And then Jesus proceeds to go on to their faces. Remember this, Jason. Remember this when we're out in Houston. That this is Jesus in the temple on their ground. Look what he's about to say to him. He says, you are of your father, the devil. And the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. He said that to the sons of Levi. And I mean, this is what gets me. Like, we can't ever be afraid to look somebody in the face and say that, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. That's why this right here is what got him killed. This right there was what got him killed, was running his mouth to the people that were supposedly supposed to be in charge, who aren't. And it's the same thing that's going to get, I mean, in the end, I don't care what it does, but this is what got Paul killed. This is what got Peter killed. This is what got them all killed. This is what got John banished to Patmos. This is what fucked them up, is preaching the truth. This is what Jesus did to their face on their ground in the temple, told them they're of the devil. So when I look at this and I see Jesus telling the Pharisees that because they sin, they're the servant of sin, and because they sin, they're of the devil. Excuse me. That standard is the standard. That's it. There's nobody that can argue that at all. And if somebody wants to argue it, it's just because they serve sin and they're going to keep serving sin. And it doesn't, that's a stain that they're stuck with. It just baffles me, man. People like your mom, they baffle me. Because, like you said, she likes all shitbags post. So, she likes being a Pharisee. It's fucking weird. I don't know what makes them think. It's just fucking weird. Like, I know when I was a kid, when I first started going to the heathen buildings and I learned about the Pharisees and how Jesus treated them, I never wanted to be a Pharisee when I grew up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And at 33 years old, when I read 1 John 3:6 for the first time, having to accept that that's what I had become, I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not accepting the truth. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't understand how people can be Pharisees, be shown that they're Pharisees, and then they don't register it. It just, I don't know. Whatever. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. They did it to Jesus, they're going to do it to us. And then he look at what he says to him. He says, which of you convinces me of sin? I mean, it's the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. What people in my comments is going to convince me that sin still exists? Who can do it? Nobody. Because Jesus ended it, and he knew it. It was already done. He knew what he was going to come here and do. And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of God heareth God's word. You therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. He said this shit to their faces, Jason. To their faces. Was he trying to make friends with them, do you think? No. No. He took a hot iron and shoved it in their eyeballs. That's really what he did. Then answered the Jews and said unto him,
he cut through them.
He did. Exactly.
He cut through them entirely.
Entirely. Which is the example I give for everybody. That's my goal. The people that I do this with, my goal is to get you to that point, to where you stop giving a fuck about what they think or feel, and you just run through them. The ones that are supposed to hear it, the ones that love you, they will. The ones that won't, they won't. Cut your losses. It's hardcore. It's really fucking hardcore. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and has a devil? And then they accused him of being of the devil. Jesus answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and you do dishonor me. And it's the same thing, like the people that call us the devil. I don't have the devil. I honor God, and you dishonor God. You dishonor him. Like, you dishonor Christ every time you sin. All these people, they get stuck in that sin, repent, repeat. Every time they sin, they're spitting in God's face. They're saying that his sacrifice wasn't good enough. You dishonor God. And he even said something about that in Romans 2. It was Romans chapter 2. Yeah, she went away with a clean conscience. Absolutely. Down here, he said, "Thou that makest thy boast of the law through breaking the law, dishonorest thou God?" That's what they're doing. They're dishonoring God every time they sin, over and over and over, spitting in his face and telling him he wasn't good enough. And the thing is, though, they may not think that that's what they're doing at first, but when you present them with the choice and they choose to continue doing it, then you know what it is. And it's, even that, it's just possession. "And I seek not my own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he will never see death." That's it. If a man keep my saying, if you line up with the book, you will never see death. "Then said the Jews unto him, we know that you have a devil. Abraham is dead." this is this is what they do, right? They go from one extreme to another, right? "Oh, you smoke, you can't be saved." And within 5 minutes, they're like, "You're saying you can kill a bunch of children, you're of the devil." These fucking people are nuts. "Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets, and thou sayest, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste of death." They're too stupid to realize that death isn't what happens when we leave the body. That's not the death that he's talking about. It's the second one. "Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself?" Jesus answered, "If I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom you say that he is your God." And this is where he throws it back in their lap, right? He's like, you claim to be a believer, then why do you dishonor God? Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like you. But I know him and keep his saying. And that's, look at, to their face, Jason, to their face, in front of everybody in the temple, he called them a liar to their faces. "Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Then said the Jews unto him, Thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham? Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am." Then took they... It's fun when you quote this verse while you're arguing with somebody about it, because you could feel like it's his word coming out of your mouth. Dude, it's fucking amazing. "Then took they up stones to cast at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by." No, he didn't stick around either. He fucking fired shots and walked away. But that's it, man. I don't know how he ended up in John, but Jesus to their faces, to the Pharisees, all these fucking people claiming to be of God and they still sin. No, man, those are just Pharisees. Those are Pharisees. Those are haters of God. Those are people that, when shown, will spit on the truth. And they prove it every time they sin. And that's, yeah, Houston's going to be fun, man. So have you picked your targets yet or what?
I've got a nearby park that would be a nice walk, like a block away from here. It looks kind of like there's a few people there.
Think big.
If you want big, then we might need to get into the car and drive a little.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to anyway. That's why I sent the wagon and shit. What is Sam Houston Park? That's not that far from you, right?
Well, where I've seen a lot of people, and this is like 6 months ago, but there's this river that goes, it's just a dirty brown river that goes along Houston, like downtown Houston, and there's a walkway. And if you go down from like where downtown is, maybe a mile west, it turns into like a big opening where a lot of people gather. And there's like a big hill, there's trees, there's sidewalks.
Is the river still right there?
And that might, the what?
The river. Is the river still?
Yeah, it's all along. It's basically all along all of that.
I like rivers. I do certain things in rivers. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be good, man.
It's a pretty dirty one, though.
Whatever, man. River was dirty back then, too.
It's not like you might see in Illinois or other states, the water might be clear. Here, it looks like it looks
like it should when you've got 18 million people.
Yeah, I don't know where it gets all dirty from anyway. And even on the Gulf, like the Gulf of Mexico, it's not. I'm used to clean water or clean looking water being from Michigan. Anyway.
I'm not. I'm used to shit brown fucking rivers. I'm from Illinois. Huh. All right, yeah. Psalm 37, verse 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. The upright are the people who are free. They cannot sin. They shall not be ashamed. Do you see this? They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. No shame. No shame. And everybody watching this, like you guys all know, every time we do this with people, we are perfect. Jesus died to make us perfect. Oh, I know who that is. We are perfect. You're just denying it. You deny it because you deny Christ. That's it. You're just a fucking sinner, dude. You deny that he reconciled all things. You deny that he made you perfect. You deny.
They get it all caught up in their choice or how they act. It's just basically how they do all their stuff. It's none of that. Like being perfect, none of that.
He said we're not perfect, but the Bible says the direct opposite. Direct opposite. Right? Hebrews 7:19. Right here. For the law made nothing perfect. So in that sense, you're correct. You're not born perfect. You're born a sinner. But the bringing in of a better hope did. So the law didn't make anything perfect, but the bringing in of Jesus did. By the which will we draw near unto God. Jesus died to make you perfect. And if you don't believe you're perfect, it's because you don't believe in Jesus. You spit in his face and you choose to serve sin over and over and over. And every time you sin, you turn your back on him. You turn your back on him and you choose to serve sin. He reconciled all things for you to make you perfect. And you choose not to believe that. And you choose to believe you sin. So you choose to give the credit to the devil. And that's what you do every single time you sin. You're full of shit. This kid, he's a kid. This guy, he's a kid. He was supposedly done with me like months ago, but he just, you know how it goes. They can't stop.
So why is he here? Get him out of here.
No, leave him. Let him watch. Let him sit and fucking seethe. Let him be an angry little mini Pharisee. That's it. He's just a little mini Pharisee running around. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. No. Don't kick him out. I don't ever kick anybody out. I try not to. That's like last resort. That's like Troy level.
I'm just starting to think in the way of just say it and then get out of here.
Well, right. You would think that that's what they would do, but they don't. They can't.
I mean, for us to say it and then they disagree and then just put that damn wall up.
No. Well, I mean, yes and no.
I mean, if you want to have some debate, yeah, okay, let's have it. Get out.
I can't let him up here for a debate. I can't. It's I know the minute I did that, I was going to offer him. Too. Well, I was going to offer him because he's 13, 14 years old, something like that. I mean, I've got kids and I understand what it's like, but I can't even do that because YouTube, just fucking YouTube will turn it into something. But he's always more than free to reach out to me. If you want to talk about it, dude, I'm more than free. I'm not your enemy, little dude. I'm not your enemy. I'll be your best friend if you take the time, if you listen. If you trust the Bible, really, I'd be your best friend. But if you can't trust the Bible, if you can't trust that Jesus made you perfect, and this ain't for you, go keep serving sin. Goodbye. Like, I don't know why you're still here. Jason's right. I don't know why you're still here. If you're going to keep serving sin, just get the fuck on. That's it. You made your choices. Live with them. Psalm 37:19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. Oh, that's what we were talking about too. We're not ashamed because we can't sin. There is no sin. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. And that's what's happening with my family right now, dude. I'm watching all the people that have shit on me my whole life. All of them are failing in everything. Everything's coming apart for them. And my family's like, I don't even know what to do, dude. I have everything I've ever asked for in my life. I have everything. I can't even, all my bills are paid, cars paid off. Everything's done. Everything's taken care of. All my criminal shit's done. Everything's about to get 10 times better while everybody else, all the people that spit on me and rejected us and all this shit, their lives are coming undone. It's fucking crazy. It's real though. But the wicked shall perish and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. Into smoke shall they consume away. That's what's going to happen with the sinners, man. Everybody that sins, they're gone. And that's Noah. Even Noah, he tried telling them. They didn't listen to him either. He was a preacher of righteousness. And they didn't listen to him either. They thought he was crazy too. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. And this is deep right here. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again. These are the ones that say, God, I promise I'm going to do this better this time, and then they don't. God, I promise I'm going to quit this, and then they don't. God, I promise, and then they don't. They borrow, and then they never pay. They never they never turn from sin. But the righteous show with mercy. We forgive everybody for everything, and we don't judge, and we give. We give and 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 give. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. And if you know Galatians 3:10, then you know that he that is of the works of the law is under the curse. All these people that think you got to be some type of way, you don't. Jesus made you perfect the way you are. Anybody that says otherwise is a fucking liar. For as many as are the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. You either keep it flawlessly on your own, which you can't, or you got to accept that Jesus did it for you and it's done and he made you perfect on that cross. If you choose to reject that he made you perfect, every time you sin, you're breaking a law, and every time you break that law, you prove you're of the devil. It's fucked. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. So the good man, the believer, never actually falls. God holds him up. There is no way for a believer to fall at all. Even when we think, like, even if you think you're in a fucked up position, no. And I know that no matter, like, when we were losing our house for the gospel and just everything was caving in, and I had $10,000 in lawyer fees and all this shit. When all that shit was going on, even in that, I knew I was perfect. And then he showed up at the last minute. We won everything, got back every dollar, and got a house out of the deal. Like, it was, I mean, it's just fucking amazing. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. True statement. And that's why I always tell you, Jason, no matter what you're putting on the line, put it on the line. Bet all in all the time. The dice will land in your favor. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. That's it. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell from evermore. And that's what we tell everybody. Depart from sin, stop thinking you sin, and start trusting that he made you perfect, and just enjoy your life. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The children of the sinners will be cut off. That's it. It's done. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. That's the 144,000 right there. They get Israel. And you see that all starting. It's all happening. Now Hezbollah and shit, now they're all going, is about to get ugly. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. None. Right. Little dude, you got to look at verse 9, man. You keep leaving out verse 9. You leave out verse 7. And if look, man, you just want to keep clinging to sin, go keep serving sin then. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You're just making yourself look stupid. Why are you even here? You've already made your choice clearly that you're going to keep sinning, so keep sinning.
Give him a flick.
No. I can't do that, man. Patience, because he's here for a reason. He keeps coming back for a reason. He knows deep down. He fucking knows I'm not lying. That's why he can't go away. Deep down, he knows. The question is he ever going to accept it? That's a different ballgame. And once he accepts it, you already know. I mean, he's 13, 14 years old. The minute you go at 13, 14 years old, you go to your parents. And this is what happened with my son. He went to his mom and said, look, the Bible says if you sin, you're of the devil. And his mom ruined his life. And so now I'm going through all that shit. And now he's afraid to even talk to my kids on Fortnite now because his mom will make his life miserable. So, I understand where he's at. It's a hard pill to swallow. Whoever sins is of the devil. It's a very hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. And if you care about your family, if you care about the people around you, you're going to tell them the truth. I don't know what to tell you, little dude, man, but you just, if you're going to keep serving sin, you got to go. Like, I'm not going to boot you, but like, know when enough is enough. If you're not going to listen, go keep serving sin. And that's it. And every time you sin, remember the words. And then We'll see when you get serious. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Do you see this? Right here. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, talking about, the righteous in the hands of the wicked. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. The Lord will not condemn the righteous at all for anything. At all. Because we know what he did. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. We're going to witness it. You're watching it now. It's happening now. All over the world is what we're seeing now. The division of everything for every reason. Cancel culture. All this fucking tranny shit this and tranny shit that and fucking black and white this and black and white that and red and blue this and red and blue that. The whole fucking world is upside down right now. And all the sinners are divided. All of them. The devil's kingdom is divided and it's getting ready to come down beautifully. Realize what? No. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Nasty little shit. Don't speak against my God like that. Bye. God has blessed me. That's why I can't sin. I know what he did. That's nasty. Ew. Look at this. Ew. Look at this. That's so gross that somebody told him that he's not made in God's image. You stupid little boy. Stupid little boy. You were made in God's image. You were made in God's image. He ain't gone. Did the counter go down? Yeah, he said he was leaving. Stupid little boy. You were made in God's image. So what you're saying is that God fucked up. You stupid, stupid little kid. God didn't fuck up. You fucked up by believing the lie and serving sin. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. And what's cool about this, right, is like David writing this, and you see, like even he saw, like we see now, we see the wicked in great power. We see what we know them. You know within 3 seconds if somebody's actually saved or not. We see them in great power. Yet he passed away. Like it's already been done. It's already happened. We're just living through it now. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. That's it. Look at right here. He says, we're not perfect, but yet the verse says that that's the one who's going to have peace in the end is the perfect. Fucking idiots. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors, the sinners, right, shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in a time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Jason, there is not a truer verse in this Bible. That's why I keep trying to tell you, man. Throw it all on the line all the time and trust him. Right there. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them, and he shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. That's it. So I don't know. I'm not going to keep everybody on here. I think I'll wrap it up. You good? You look tired. Oh, shit.
I'm getting tired. The tired's getting kind of strong for me.
You start a new job tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on it, man. I think it's going to go good.
Should be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, give you a really good leg into what you do. I believe. I think that this will be very good for you.
Well, I'm liking it more for the flexibility because it's going to free up some time for other things.
I picture you as a judge someday.
To me, law is law, and it's just kind of a way to work whatever area you want to work and make a decent amount of money. So that's
you ever going to run for judge? You ever going to run for judge? Why? No, you can't even say that yet. No, I think you should.
I'm not that in love with the practice of law.
Oh.
I mean, it would probably be fun. If I had the opportunity, I might even consider it, but I'm not looking for it.
Fair. Well, on the same note, I wasn't looking for what's coming my way either. It's just that time. So, it's It just is what it is. I'm excited though, and I'm excited for you, and I'll be seeing you real soon. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Make sure your phone's fully charged that day. Well, yeah, and then
Are you
I don't
saying
know.
I need a battery pack?
You might want to. Did you ever get a Bluetooth speaker?
I was looking at one actually just today, and I didn't get one yet.
You need one with some bumps, if you don't mind. Something's
It's
got a
easy
little
to
bit.
find.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Pick it up. That's one less thing. Just check off the list. I promise you, dude. And if you get like a lunch bag or a cooler or something that we can throw in a wagon with drinks, you want water, pop, that type of stuff. So whoever sits down, we've got everything there. I think it's because this isn't we're just gonna go sit in a park for an hour or two. This is an all day event, man. 2 days in a row, boom,
All
boom.
right.
So it's gonna be fun. Plus at dinner, you'll see. It's this is nuts, man. It's nuts, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. I'm so excited, dude. You're gonna need to see somebody break down. It's gonna be good. I love you, man. I really do. Yeah, you're gonna watch somebody get
All right.
broken
Is
the fuck
this it
down.
for the night?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think everybody's gone. I don't even. This thing didn't even give me a like. I don't have a counter. I don't know how many people are on here. I can't. It won't even let me comment in my own chat. Like I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube, but whatever. So Brunette, thank you. Shirley, thank you. Everybody that always shows up, thank you. Do the Bible studies on here. Remember, if you comment to me, if your comment doesn't show, all you got to do is click the little button that says new comments first. Make sure you do that. UC5. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of it, like the comment thing and the studies are on here. Everything's on here. I put it all on here. This isn't there is no instant gratification on the Bible. There really isn't. You have to put in the time. If you're not willing to put in the time, then how do you think it's going to end for you? You know what I mean? Control yourself. Force yourself to learn the book and really fucking learn it. You can't just hear a little, there a little, and expect to be some kind of fucking Bible ninja. You're just going to get chopped up. And that's, excuse me, it just looks bad on you, looks bad on God, looks bad on the book, and looks bad on me because you come here and claim to believe. So do your due diligence, study to show yourself approved, and we'll catch you next time. I love you, Jason.
Love you guys. Love you, Perry.
Yes, yes. Anything you want to say? You got anything
Good
you want to add? Good night. Okay. Whatever you got.
No.
Nothing. I'm gonna make you a
Unless
pizza.
you
right
ask
now.
me something, I can say anything you want.
No, ain't nothing to say, man. It ain't about. And I'm a don't talk about it, be about it kind of guy. So
Did you see my shirt that I showed you earlier? I couldn't tell if you saw it. I had this before, but it doesn't. I feel like it's worthless. It's just like.
Show everybody the shirts. Show everybody the shirt.
Yeah, here's the other one.
Yeah. We got these for Houston. Bible study, free from sin.
You got a big boy shirt, by the way.
I know. Well, it gives you an idea on what you're dealing with when I get there. I'm a big boy, dude.
And my shirts, you got the large for me, and that's a little big for me.
I think I got the one that's a little too big for me too, but whatever. Like I just
some baggy looking.
No, worst comes to worst, we'll throw them in the wash that Friday. We'll throw them in the wash when I get there, and they should shrink up a little bit.
I washed them both.
You washed them both already? Okay,
both.
Cool, good,
yeah,
awesome. Then it should be good to go. So I'm excited, man. I'll see you sooner than later, dude. We love you, man.
Okay.
Brunette, everybody, thank you guys. I salute the brethren. We'll see you guys when we see you, and read your Bibles. Put in the time. I mean, you can't say you believe without actually believing. It doesn't work. So love y'all. Adios, Jason.